Welcome back to Big Board. Whew, it's been a while. So I thought I would touch base and let's have a look at Heroes of the Bitter Harvest. It's a pre-production copy that Lock and Load have very graciously sent me. I've already got my order in for all the goodies on the Game Found or the Kickstarter, whatever you want to call it, whichever service they happen to be using. Not sure if you can still pre-order it or not, but you can check all that out on their website. It's got all the good details. I just wrapped up another Lock and Load pre-production gameplay of First Victories. And unfortunately, that was sort of interrupted by a weekend away in which I forgot to cover the game up, and the cats took to the game and decided to play back the battalion around the map. So I'm taking a little break from Napoleonics, and we'll get stuck into this for a bit and do some panzer pushing here at the tactical squad level with a rather large scenario for Lock and Load. It's only 2 maps, but it's 2 maps sort of stretched horizontally, with north being the top of the map. And in this particular case, we're set July 42 near Voronezh, just for want of a better area. 3rd Panzer Division is being basically taken on by the Soviets with heavy infantry, KV-1s and T-34s and fun stuff like that. But the Soviets have got a big task ahead of them. They've got to capture all the multi-hex buildings on the map. There's 8 on this map and 8 on the other map. Well, they don't have to capture all of them. We've got to capture more than the Germans control. And it's assumed that the Germans control all of them. And so they're kind of on the Germans are on the back foot here, but they have some decent units. There's a couple of event markers, so something will happen here if it's occupied by a Russian unit, and then all the way over here on the edge of the map, and I'm going to guess this is a reinforcement, just where it's based, and it's line of sight as well. So being a little bit gamey, but the Soviet attack plan is we're going to try and break the scenario if we can, and win by the slimmest of margins and force the Germans onto the offensive here. So my game plan, given that, so the game plan for the Soviets will do that first, and the game plan for the Germans next, I guess. That'll make most sense since I've already started down that path. There's 16 squads, 4 MG units, 3 T-34s, and a KV-1, some leaders, the usual sort of spread of leaders and whatnot. My intention is to take all the easy stuff that we can, without triggering this, what I imagine is going to be a reinforcement event. And does that say occupation? It says line of sight, so it should actually be that way. Capture some of the easy stuff and work our way in without triggering this until later in the scenario. It's 12 turns. So we'll have to do some fighting here. There's a squad, a medic, and an MG-34. So that'll be a tough little nut to crack in a heavy building, heavy construction level building. So it's going to give us, I think, a terrain modifier of +4, if I remember correctly. So we'll come this way. And the idea is we get enough here that we've got the balance of the victory locations occupied. Now, it's interesting, don't forget, I believe in the definitions for control, it'll say something like you've got to control both levels, right? So up and down. So there's a lot of movement that has to occur in these hexes. So both the lower and upper levels have to be acquired. Same with this building here. It's going to be tricky for the Soviets, but it'll take some time. So we want to press as many units in here as we can, spread them out, get them moving, and get them hopping along. Now, over on this other map, another big building, which is a little unusual for Lock and Load tactical maps. You don't often see as many, multi-hex buildings like this. Is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10 hexes in size. 10 hexes in size. Yeah, so it's pretty big. It's pretty cool to think through how you're going to tackle these ones. So over here we've got the same sort of setup with a couple of tanks and some squads and stuff. So I basically split the squads 50-50, and away we go. But once again, we also want to come in on the angle here, because look, I've got a multi-hex there, a multi-hex there, a multi-hex here, a multi-hex here. I could probably run the risk of acquiring this one, taking this hex if I have to move through it, because I think it might be beneficial to the Russians. I don't know, but it also might just be that it's an anti-tank trap and we get screwed over. So we're going to potentially avoid that if we can. But I can take 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. That's why the Germans have got this unit set up down here. But maybe 4, 5 locations. Here's an easy 6. If I can fight my way into this 7, now I've got 7 of the 8 here. Out of the 16, I only need to get 6, so 8 would make us even, 8 each, and then I just need 1 more, 9, and I win, right? As the Russians. That's my thinking here. If I get this guy, now I'm at 10, and if I press in from both flanks, so coming in this way, right, I could potentially pick up this multi-hex and this multi-hex, but of course then I'll trigger these reinforcements, and then it's a matter of, can I hold on long enough to multi-hex building is what I'm trying to say there. Can I hold on long enough then with whatever potential reinforcements might come here? And I'm going to guess it's going to be some tanks. And I haven't read the these scenarios have these cute little things that say, stop, do not read the paragraphs until instructed by the scenario, right? Well, we've played enough of these that we can kind of guess at what's going to happen, because it's not rocket science, right? So that's the Soviet plan, and I like that plan. I think we capture as much as we can without fighting, then we go all in on key locations there. This guy's a key location. This is probably a key location here on this bottom right-hand side. There's an AT gun there that's kind of sitting out in the open that we can probably take a shot at, try and avoid its line of fire. That's why I'm bringing this T-34 in over this way. I want to bring this guy in around here, knock out this, not armored car, what's it called? The half track here. There's another half track here. Try and use this tank to do that. And then bring the KV-1, which is almost indestructible against this 50 mil AT gun here. Bring these guys in to support an assault on this main building and make sure we capture all this stuff pretty easily. Want to rush these guys through here as fast as we can, collect all these buildings, acquire all these buildings, and then get into the fighting action here. So that's the game plan for the Soviets. For the Germans, I decided to spread myself out a little bit, and being set back a little on this map and really focusing in on making life difficult to capture this entire building. I'll move these guys into the upper levels and keep retreating and ducking around, trying to avoid trouble using low crawl and other things. These guys here are going to fight their way to success. There's a hero here. They'll do their best to hold on and look for opportunities to assault or melee suppressed enemy units that enter the map or that are on the map, and also try and hold this building. So they'll be proactively fighting. These guys, they're a holdout force as well. They're just going to hang out as long as they can, shoot whatever they shoot across here, trying to interdict, take opportunity fire shots here. They've got great opportunity fire shots along this axis, and they've got some half decent shooting along. Well, they'll get blocked here with two hexads, I think. But we could always move up to here and then do some shooting depending on which way the Soviets come. And back on this map, and the same for these two guys. They're really op firing into this open area if it comes. And then I've left this, because I'm playing both sides, I'm thinking this is a pretty obvious thing for the Soviets to avoid. So I've put forces down here in multi-hex buildings such that they'll have to make some choices about coming to get them and be exposed to seeing this hex, and I'll get what I think is potentially going to be reinforcements. Over on this side, I've got the AT gun line of sight up there. Put these guys more forward just because I want to try and see if I can take some pot shots at them as they come in, or potentially we'll sneak, we'll low crawl back into this big building and then do the runaway game and avoid any contact for as long as we can until perhaps we get some reinforcement. Now, being forced onto the counterattack will be difficult unless I get these reinforcements, because there's a lot of bad guys, and we don't want to give the Soviets the opportunity just to move and shoot or move every unit and run through all these hexes up and down the stairs and capture them all. They will certainly be able to do that with 16 units on the map, on both sides of the map here. So anyway, that's kind of the game plan. We'll get this rolling over the next day or so, and we'll see what happens from there. And we'll check in with everybody real soon. I hope you guys are having a great week. It's a Monday here for me. So hopefully I will be able to get through this week without too much trouble. I've got a little bit of travel to do, but we'll squeeze it in. All right, all the best, guys. Talk to you soon.